Hello students, welcome back. I am here again for standard 6th, subject science. So in the last part we have started a new chapter, chapter number 9, the living organisms, characteristics and habitats. So in the second part we are going to study about the characteristics and habitats of living organisms. As we have studied in the first part, the living organisms, what are the characteristics and the environment where they live and how they adapt to it, we have studied in the first part. So in this part, organisms and the surroundings where they live, the living organisms and the surroundings, the environment where they are live. Second point, habitat and adaptations. So what are the habitats and adaptations the living organisms do? Now we are going to study about the journey through different habitats, the terrestrial habitat and the aquatic habitat. As the term terrestrial means the land habitat, and aquatic habitat, as we have studied in the first part, we have taken two examples. The first one is camel from desert region and fish from the sea region, that is aquatic region. So we are going to study about the journey through different habitats. So some terrestrial habitats we are going to study now. Deserts. We discussed the abiotic factor of a desert and the adaptations in chemicals. As we have discussed in the first part, what are the abiotic factors and what are the adaptations in chemicals that have happened. So in desert, as desert region are very hot region, the sun, the sands, the soil which is there in the desert, they are heated very high. So वो सैंड रीजन जो है तो उसकी जो गर्मी से बचने के लिए the camels have long legs. What about other animals and plants that are found in deserts? Do they have the same kind of adaptations? There are desert animals like rats and snakes which do not have long legs that a camel has. अब snakes है, rats है, उनके long legs तो है नहीं, जैसे camel के हैं. So how do they adapt with that hot desert environment? To stay away from the intense heat during the day, they stay in burrows deep in the sand. As you go inside the sand, as you burrow the sand inside it, it becomes cold. So the heat above the sand is lower is higher than the heat below in the sand. So these animals, rat and snakes, they burrow inside the sand and they live there in the day. And during night, they come out and they eat their food. These animals come out only during the night when it is cooler. Figure 9.5 shows some typical plants that grow in the desert. अब जैसे हमने पढ़ा कि desert region के अंदर plants कैसे होते हैं, they have to be very the water is very precious in the desert region. So वहाँ के जो plants होते हैं, they cannot leave moisture more inside in the environment. So here are these adapted to the desert. So activity 3 is given here. Bring a potted cactus. Cactus means जो कांटेदार जो झाड़ होते हैं. So bring a potted cactus and a leafy plant in the classroom. The polythene bags to some parts of these two plants, as was there in activity 4 in chapter 7. We are going to keep these parts of a plant in a polythene bag and we are going to wrap it on a mouth, where we study transpiration in plants. So leave the potted plants in the sun and observe after a few hours. So what do you see? Do you notice any difference in the amount of water collected in the two polythene bags? The amount of water which is collected in the leaf part, in the leafy plant, is more than the amount of water in a cactus plant. That shows that cactus plant which are grown in the desert, that respires less than the leafy plant which is grown in the plain region. Do you notice any difference in the amount of water collected in these two polythene bags? Desert plants lose very little water through transpiration, The leaves in desert plants are either absent or very small, or they are in the form of spines, because in desert region it is very hot. तो जहाँ गर्मी ज्यादा होती है तो वहाँ पानी की स्कैरसिटी होती है, पानी की कमी होती है, तो द वैल्यू ऑफ वाटर इन द डेजर्ट रीजन इज मोर. तो वहाँ जो लीव्स होते हैं दे आर इन द फॉर्म ऑफ द कैक्टस, और दे इन द फॉर्म ऑफ द पाइन्स, और नो लीव्स होते हैं. जो कांटेदार झाड़ होते हैं वहाँ हम स्पाइन्स देखते हैं, खाली कांटे देखते हैं, एंड द स्टेम रूट इज देयर. The leaves in desert plants are either absent, very small, or they are in the form of spines. This helps in reducing loss of water from the leaves through transpiration. The leaf-like structure you see in a cactus, that is, in fact, its stem. So photosynthesis in these plants is usually carried out by stems. अब photosynthesis क्या है कि energy जो है उनको, the plants को जो energy चाहिए. So where do they get energy from? They get energy from the sun. Sun से वो energy लेते हैं, and carbon dioxide जो environment में है, they take in carbon dioxide, sun energy लेते हैं, नीचे जो minerals होते हैं, water होता है, they take in that, वो दोनों mix होते हैं in the presence of sunlight. और chlorophyll जो होता है, जो leaves के ऊपर green color के pigment होता है, that is called chlorophyll. तो वो क्या release करते हैं, फिर oxygen release करते हैं and water. So this whole process is called as photosynthesis. और desert region के अंदर क्या होता है, because the water scarcity is there in desert region, so they cannot respire more amount of water, and they cannot bring out more amount of water. They have to be very careful. So these plants are being adapted in the habitat, in the environment where desert region is there, hot region is there. So in the same way, same plants, the cactus plant or the thorny plants, they cannot live inside the water because the amount of water is more. So that these plants is being adapted in other way. The leaf-like structure you see in a cactus, in fact, its stem. Photosynthesis in these plants is usually carried out by the stem. The stem is also covered with a thick waxy layer. अब कोई भी चीज को कवर चाहिए, सो थिक वैक्सी लेयर से कवर होता है, विच हेल्प्स टू रिटेन वाटर. पानी को उसके अंदर बचा के रखना पड़ता है. कोई भी चीज वाटर पानी रखते हैं बाहर, तो एयर जो है उसको हीट जो है वो इवेपोरेट करती है. अब इवेपोरेट से बचाने के लिए द स्पंजी वैक्स टाइप इज देयर अबव द प्लांट, विच हेल्प्स टू रिटेन वाटर इन द टिश्यू ऑफ कैक्टाई. So most desert plants have roots that go very deep into the soil for absorbing water. अब ये desert region में देखा हमने कि how the living organisms are being adapted according to the environment. Now we are going to study about the mountain regions. अब पहाड़ी इलाके में क्या होता है, वहाँ रेन ज्यादा होती है, so humid climate होता है. So these habitats are normally very cold and windy. वहाँ हवा और कोल्ड मूव ज्यादा होता है. सो दीज एनिमल्स एंड प्लांट्स दे आर बीइंग अडैप्टेड डिफरेंटली इन माउंटेन रीजन. सो इन सम एरियाज स्नोफॉल may take place in winters. There is a large variety of plants and animals living in the mountain region. Have you seen the kind of trees shown in figure 9.6? अब जैसे वहां पर माउंटेन रीजन, स्नोई रीजन के अंदर क्या होता है, वहां स्नोफॉल ज्यादा होता है. अब स्नोफॉल ज्यादा होता है तो स्नोफॉल अगर ट्रीज के ऊपर या प्लांट्स के ऊपर स्नोफॉल होगा तो व्हाट हैपन टू दिस प्लांट, वो प्लांट जो है दे विल ब्रेक डाउन एंड दे विल बिकम their growth is being destroyed. So to allow the snowfall to get down from the plants, they are being tapered. वहां जो एडेप्टेशन हुआ है प्लांट का वो कैसा हुआ है, वो टेपरिंग जैसा हो गया, जैसे वहां प्लांट्स ऐसे होते हैं. तो दिस टेपरिंग, अब स्नोफॉल होता है तो स्नोफॉल इसके ऊपर से गिर के डायरेक्ट वहां पर लैंड पे, जमीन पे गिर जाता है. सो दीज प्लांट्स इन दिस वे दे आर अडैप्टेड इन द स्नोई रीजन. अब इसी तरह का डेजर्ट रीजन के अंदर नहीं होगा, नो. देयर रूट्स, देयर लीव्स आर स्पाइनी, थॉर्नी होते हैं, वहां पर पानी को बचाना पड़ता है. यहाँ पर स्नोफॉल जो है, जो लीव्स के ऊपर, प्लांट के ऊपर गिरता है, तो वो उसके ऊपर रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. If that snow is there on the leaves of the plants, the plant is going to break. So in this way, these plants are being adapted in the snowy region. So if you live in a mountain region or have visited one, you may have seen a larger number of such trees. But have you ever noticed such trees naturally growing in other regions? नहीं होते हैं. So each living organism or plants, उसके environment के हिसाब से they adapt. Here are these trees adapted to conditions prevailing in their habitat. These trees are normally cone shaped होते हैं, जैसे cone shaped होते हैं, tapering shaped होते हैं, and have sloping branches. The leaves of some of these trees are needle-like. These help the rainwater and snow to slide off easily. Snow और जो rain है वो एकदम slide off easily हो जाता है. There could be trees with shapes very different from these that are also present in mountains. दूसरे trees भी होते हैं वहाँ mountains के ऊपर. They may have different kind of adaptations to survive on the mountains. उनकी adaptation जो होते हैं, उनके जो habit होती है, they are different. उनके characteristics are different. So animal in the living in the mountain region are also adapted to the conditions there. They have thick skin. अब mountain region की तो cold होता है, thick skin होता है. Skin के नीचे जो है, the skin is covered with fur, thick layer of fur है. अब skin के नीचे जो है thick layer of fat is there to prevent cold getting inside the body. और जो blood circulation होता है, that is to be taken very properly. They have thick skin or fur to protect them from cold. For example, yaks have long hair to keep them warm. Snow leopard has thick fur on its body, including feet and toes. This protects its feet from the cold when it walks on the snow. The mountain goat has strong hooves for running up the rocky slopes of the mountains. Each and every animal or living organism, उनके characters जो है और उनके habitats जो है वो भी developed अलग तरह से होते हैं. As we go up in the mountainous region, the surroundings change and we see different kinds of adaptations at different heights. Each and every height of the mountain, जैसे 200 meters height के ऊपर या 500 meters height के ऊपर, 700 meters height के ऊपर, अलग अलग तरह के different types of plants and animals we find it over there. And then these animals and plants at different levels is being adapted differently according to the levels of the height of the mountains. So ये हमने mountain region के बारे में पढ़ा. Now we are going to study about the grasslands. अब grasslands वहाँ पर क्या होता है? There's a large amount of grass is there, shiny, warm climate भी है, rainy season भी है. So it's a moderate temperature over there in the grassland. A lion lives in a forest or a grassland and is a strong animal that can hunt and kill animals like deer. It is light brown in color. Look at the picture of a lion, that of a deer. How are the eyes placed in the face of these two animals? Are they in front or the side of the face? Lion have long claws in their front legs that can be withdrawn inside the toes. उनके claws जो है toes के नीचे भी they can be withdrawn. They can't because these claws they help to hunt for that prey. Do the features of a lion help it in any way to survive? अब ये features देखो lion के जो होते हैं, claws जो है they can be closed inside the toes और जो their eyes, the position of their eyes वहाँ चारों तरफ उसको देखना पड़ता है because the lion has to hunt for its survival. Its light brown color helps him to hide in dry grassland. अब dry grassland के अंदर अपने आप को बचाने के लिए अब a hunter can be a prey to another hunter. So in this way to adapt वो अपने आप को adaptation skin color जो होता है वो grassland के हिसाब से match होके they live over there. It is light brown color helps it to hide in dry grassland when it hunts for prey, animals to eat. The eyes in front of the face allow it to have a correct idea about the location of its prey. अब front के ऊपर eyes होती है, they have to be very perfect because when a lion leaps to catch a prey, it has to be caught in a once. A deer is another animal that lives in forest and grasslands. It has strong teeth for chewing hard plants, stems of a forest. A deer needs to know about the presence of predators. अब डियर जो है उसके जो प्रीडेटर्स जो खाने वाले जानवर होते हैं, लायन टाइगर जो होते हैं, दे हैव टू बी वेरी केयरफुल, वो अपने आप को बचाने के लिए प्रीडेटर्स से। तो उसके प्रीडेटर्स से बचने के लिए तो व्हाट आर द एडेप्टेशन, उसके अंदर क्या क्या चीज का बदलाव हुआ है। दे हैव वेरी सेंसरी ऑर्गन्स जो है बहुत सेंसिटिव होते हैं, बिकॉज नॉइज जो होता है, कोई भी चीज के चलने की आवाज होती है उसके कान में फौरन पहुंच जाती है। सो दे आर दीज डियर्स, in this way they are being adapted in the environment. Animals like lion that make it their prey in order to run away from them and not become their prey. It has long ears to hear movements of predators. The eyes on the side of its head allow it to look in all directions. अब head के side में it allows it to look all direction. और lion के eyes कौन से position में? In the front direction. Because it has to catch its prey and उसकी जो point of attraction जो है, it has to be very particular. The speed of the deer helps him to run away from the predators. तो अब जैसे deer के अंदर long ears होते हैं to hear movements of the predators, and eyes on the side of the head allows it to look in all directions for danger. The speed of the deer helps him to run away from the predators. उसकी speed ज्यादा होती है because जो अपने शिकार करने के लिए आते हैं, तो हंट करने, जो प्रीडेटर्स होते हैं, these deer being hunted by the lion. तो उससे बचने के लिए उनकी भागने की स्पीड ज्यादा होनी चाहिए. So these animals are being adapted in this way. There are many other features of a lion, a deer, or other animals and plants that help them to survive in their habitat. Many animals are also there. अब ये हमने terrestrial habitat के बारे में पढ़ा. Now we are going to study about the aquatic habitat. Aquatic means the water habitat. अब पानी के अंदर जो होता है, so animals and living organisms, plants जो पानी के अंदर रहते हैं, उसके बारे में we are going to study about. So first is oceans. We have already discussed how fish are adapted to live inside the water. Fish को कैसे adapt होता है? Fish की body जो है adaptations होती है. Fish की body एकदम streamlined होती है. They have to be pushed forward. जो water का pressure होता है उसको cross करके उसको आगे जाना पड़ता है. So their body is streamlined. They are being adapted. और उसके fins और जो tails होते हैं, when they move towards the right, it has the direction of the fish. It goes to the left. So in this way, these fishes are being adapted in the water region. We have already discussed how fish are adapted to live in the sea. Many other sea animals have streamlined bodies to help them move easily in water. There are some sea animals like squids and octopus which do not have this streamlined shape. They stay deeper in the ocean. अब जैसे octopus होते हैं, they stay deeper, एकदम पानी के अंदर है. They are not being allowed. वो पानी को क्रॉस करने की ज्यादा उनको जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है, because their shape is not streamlined. So they stay deep inside the ocean. They stay deeper in the ocean near the seabed and catch any prey that moves towards them. However, when they move in water, they make their body shape streamlined. These animals have gills to help them use oxygen dissolved in water. अब जो फिश होते हैं, कोई भी फिश एक्वेटिक एनिमल्स होते हैं, वो रेस्पिरेशन कैसे करते हैं? अपनी गिल्स से होते हैं, फिन्स होते हैं. So through their gills they respire. अब रेस्पिरेशन क्या चीज होती है? They take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. और ऑक्सीजन कहाँ से लेते हैं? ऑक्सीजन which was dissolved in water, this has been taken out with the help of gills of aquatic animals. There are some sea animals like dolphins and whales that do not have gills. They breathe in air through nostrils or blowholes. अब ये large animals होते हैं. They stay inside. अब gills जो है, a smaller fish के लिए होते हैं. अब large animals के लिए वो gills काम नहीं आएंगे. So they're being adapted. उनके जो characters होते हैं, they are different. So they breathe in air through nostrils or blowholes that are located in the upper part of their head. These allows them to breathe in air when they swim near the surface of water. Surface of air जो है, atmospheric air, they take inside it through the nostrils. They can stay inside the water for a long time without breathing. They come out to the surface from time to time to breathe in air. अब वो store करके जाते हैं inside the water. They go inside and without breathing they leave there, क्योंकि जो oxygen store होता है, the whole oxygen being utilized with the utilized by these animals. अब जब उनको जरूरत पड़ती है, then again they come out to the surface of the water. Again they breathe in air, take in oxygen, and again goes down. So they come out to the surface from time to time to breathe in air. Did you ever see this interesting activity of dolphins in television programs or films? और उसमें dolphins क्या करते हैं? ऊपर जाके फिर वापस अंदर जाते हैं. देखते हैं वो ऊपर पानी के ऊपर कैसे जंप करते हैं. Because they have to breathe in air, they have to take in oxygen. इसीलिए अब ये हमने oceans के बारे में पढ़ा कि oceans के जो animals जो होते हैं और plants होते हैं, they are different. Now we are going to study about ponds and lakes. अब they are the small water bodies. Ponds and lakes जो है as compared to oceans, they are the small water bodies. अब smaller water bodies के अंदर तो उसके plants and animals जो है they are also different. अब large water bodies के अंदर large animals होते हैं, fishes होते हैं, dolphins होते हैं, sharks होते हैं. So in this way, in a smaller water body, smaller animals and plants are there. Have you seen plants growing in ponds, lakes, rivers, and even some drains? Go on a field trip to a nearby pond if possible and try to observe the kinds of plants that are seen over there. Observe the leaves, stems, and roots of these plants. Some of these plants have their roots fixed in the soil below the water. In terrestrial plants, roots normally play a very important role in the absorption of nutrients and water from the soil. However, in aquatic plants, roots are much reduced in size and the main function is to hold the plant in place. तो उसके जो characters क्या हुए? They are different, which are being in the terrestrial region. The stem of these plants are long, hollow, and light. The stem grows up to the surface of water while the leaves and flowers float on the surface. Stem जो है उनको hollow चाहिए और लंबे चाहिए और leaves जो है they float on the water. जैसे हम देखते हैं जो lotus होते हैं, उसके leaves जो है flowers they float on the water, but the stems are inside the water. So some aquatic plants are submerged in water. All parts of such plants are underwater. Some of these plants have narrow and thin ribbon-like shape, ribbon-like leaves. These can bend in the flowing water. In some submerged plants, leaves are often highly divided. Leaves submerged plants होते हैं. Submerged में पानी के अंदर डूबे रहे जो plants होते हैं, उसके characters अलग होते हैं. So leaves are also different in the submerged plants also. So leaves are often being highly divided, through which the water can easily flow without damaging them. Frogs usually live in ponds. Frogs ponds के अंदर रहते हैं. Frogs can stay both inside the water as well as move on land. These animals is called as amphibian. Amphibian क्या होते हैं? They live inside the water and they can easily move on the land also. They have strong back legs that helps them in leaping and catching the prey. उनके जो back leg होते हैं वो कैसे jump करते हैं. अब वो that legs helps them. It is being adapted to catch the prey. For a frog, they have webbed feet which help them swim in water. Swimming के लिए जैसे web feet होते हैं, जब उसके feet होते हैं जो toes fingers होते हैं जो feet के, उसके ऊपर वहाँ पर web लगे जैसे लगा हुआ रहता है. वहाँ पर वो patches रहते हैं cartilages type के. We have discussed only a few common animals and plants compared to the wide. There are very wide variety of plants and animals living in this region. अब हमने खाली थोड़े से बारे में थोड़े plants और little plants and little animal studies हमने अभी किया हुआ है. So now the characteristics of organism. अब ये जो है characteristics of organism. अब ये characteristics of organism. So each living organism have different characters. अब ये इस part में we are going to study now. We went on a journey to different habitats and discussed many plants and animals. In activity 1 we listed objects. देखिए हमने list object की we listed some objects, plants and animals जो भी हमको non living things है जैसे stones है, pebbles है, वो हमने collect किया and we have listed there. Found different surroundings. Suppose we stop a while and think which examples in our list are living. अब जो हमने लिस्ट किया है कि उसके लिखेंगे which are living objects. Let us think of examples from a forest. Forest के अंदर examples जो हमने collect किए हुए हैं, we are going to think about it. So trees, creepers, small and big animals, birds, snakes, insects, rock, soil, water, etc. dry leaves, dead animals, mushrooms and moss may be only some of the objects that are present in the forest. Which of these are living? अब इसके अंदर से कौन से which are living? So think of objects that you can see around you at this moment and group them as living and non-living organism. तुमने क्या पढ़ा? जो habitat होती है, जो living organism they have been called as biotic, and they are the things which are non-living they are abiotic. So we are going to group them as living and non-living. In some cases, it is easy for us to know. For example, we know that objects like chair or table are not living. Paheli was reading this rhyme from Complete Nonsense, written by Edward Lear. So Paheli and Bujo found the poem very funny because these non-living organisms are talking. अब ये जो poem जो है पहली का जो हमारे टेक्स्ट में है, they what a poet says. A poet reflects the feelings of living things or non-living things. So Paheli was confused. So Paheli and Bujo found the poem very funny because they knew that a chair or a table is not alive and it cannot talk or walk. A poetry के अंदर poet क्या होता है? A non-living thing को क्या कैसे represent करता है? वो एक poem जो है जैसे chair है, अब उसको poet को लिखना है. So how do you describe? It describes the chair as a living thing. वो हिसाब से describe है. पहले Bujo thought this is very funny because the chair or a table is not a living organism. How they can talk or walk? So chair, table, stone or a coin are not alive. Similarly, we do know that we are alive and so are the people of the world. We also see animals around us that are so full of life. Like dogs, cats, monkeys, squirrels, insects and many others are there. So how do we know that something is living? अब हमको कैसे पता चलेगा कि some living organism कोई भी things है वो living है कि नहीं living है? Often it is not easy to decide. We are told that plants are living. Plants living हम बोलते हैं, लेकिन हमको कैसे पता चलेगा कि plants are living organism? We have to study that. We have to study the characters of that. But they do not move like a dog or a pigeon. On the other hand, a car or a bus can move. Still be considered as living? अब कार जो है बस है वो मूव करती है, क्या हम कंसीडर कर सकते हैं कि वो लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स है? नो. We have to consider the characteristics of a organisms. On the other hand, still be considered as non-living. So plants and animals appear to grow in size with time. But then at times, clouds in the sky also seem to grow in size. Does it mean that clouds are also living? No. So how does one distinguish between living and non-living things? Do living things have some common characteristics that make them very different from the non-living? उसकी जो characters होते हैं, characteristics होते हैं, we are going to differentiate characteristics between the different living organisms and non-living organisms. So in this way, we are going to distinguish them, which things are living and which things are not living. You are a wonderful example of a living being. So what characteristics do you have which make you different from a non-living thing? Like me, I have characters, I have a human being. So how can I live? I am a living person or a non-living person? Because I breathe in, so मेरी जो characters है, we are going to decide with regards to characters of organisms or a thing. List a few of these characters in your notebook. Look at your list and mark those characteristics that you have listed, which may also be found in animals or plants. So some of these characteristics are perhaps common in all living things. So do all organisms need food? क्या हर organisms को खाना चाहिए? So in chapter 1 and 2, we've learned that all living things need food and how essential it is to animals and to us. We have also learned that plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Animals depend on plants or other animals for their food. So food gives organisms the energy needed for them to grow. Food क्या करता है? Energy देता है grow होने के लिए. So plant is the main source. Plants they grow. Plants अब जो उसके ऊपर कौन डिपेंड होता है? Animals. So animals depend on plants. and animals do also depend on other animals also, which are herbivores. So animals, ये इस तरह से पूरा प्रोसेस जो है, all living organisms need food. Why? Because for energy. So organisms also need energy for other life process that go on inside them. Do all organisms need food? यहाँ तक हमने स्टडी किया ये सेकेंड पार्ट के अंदर. नेक्स्ट पार्ट के अंदर वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी अबाउट do all organisms show growth or do all organisms respire, do all organisms respond to stimuli. अब ये नेक्स्ट पार्ट में हम स्टडी करेंगे. Okay students, in this part we have completed this in this with till here.